Good Wednesday morning. We're in Jeremiah once again, and here in chapter 12, Jeremiah cries out to God with some troubling questions. These are the same questions people ask when things begin to go wrong in their life. The unthinkable happens: rape, murder. And survivors begin to ask questions: why? If there's a God of love, a God of power, why did he let this happen? If he's a God of power, couldn't he have acted? Couldn't he do something? Why does he just let things happen? It's one of the greatest questions thrown at our faith. It's for this very reason Jeremiah cries out to God. God's response, it's interesting. In essence, God says, Jeremiah, what are you going to do when things get worse? If these kind of things throw you now, if your faith is challenged and you're upset and you cry out to me and ask these questions, what are you going to do when it's much, much worse? Where are you going to turn? What are you going to stand on then? And if you've been running with men on foot and you've gotten tired, then what are you going to do when you have to run against horses? And if running through the open prairie you fall down, what are you going to do when you have to struggle through the hot, sweaty jungle whose thick growth impedes your progress in every way? God is asking some hard questions. We know that Jesus said that in the end, there will come earthquakes and famines and wars and nations rising against nations and frightening things in the sea and the roaring waves, things that'd make men afraid. And he called all this the beginning of sorrow, just the beginning. God's question to Jeremiah, his question to us is, now, if faith grows cold and faint and weak in the midst of pressure today, what are you going to do when it gets worse? How will you compete with horses when you give in against a foot race? Here's the thing. Jeremiah expected God to lift his burden. And I think most of us are due for a shock in our Christian lives when we come to a stage of spiritual development where we think God fixes everything, and then one day he doesn't. That's always a shocking time to us. But that's where Jeremiah is right here in chapter 12. God does not say, don't worry, Jeremiah, I'll work out all your problems. I'll take care of everything. You won't have any reason to struggle. God is saying, Jeremiah, it's going to get worse. A lot worse. What are you going to do then? Lord, grant me the strength I need to prepare for whatever may come my way. I don't have the strength within myself to endure, but you can strengthen me to even manage the thickets by the Jordan. Lord, help me to remember that my life is a walk of faith, so when difficult circumstances strike me with a crippling blow, I know my Redeemer lives. Amen.